Welcome everyone. In this session today, we are going to discuss about figure completion now. Now, like I said, figure completion is a very simple topic. Here, incomplete figure is given to us, right? And we need to find out which of the given answer options completes the given figure. Generally, there is a square box which is divided into 4 parts. Out of these 4 parts, 3 parts are completed, right? 3 parts have got figures in it, but there's one part which is missing. And from the given answer options, we need to check which is that one part when kept in that missing part there completes the figure. So let's look at the questions. So we have the first question on your screens now. So as you can see, there is a question figure which has got a squared box divided into 4 parts, right? Of these 4 parts, 3 parts are filled and 1 is empty, and we need to check which of the answer figures 1, 2, 3 and 4 will complete this question figure. All right. So very simple to do, very easy to answer. All you need to do is see this kind of questions are generally based on symmetric figures, right? The figure here is symmetric about x-axis as well as y-axis. So we just need to follow that symmetry and complete it. Like for example, if you look at this empty part, I'll just try to complete the figure there itself, right? So what do you see? There is a squared box, right, in the bottom half of the figure. So there should be a squared box in the top half. You already see one half of it. So let's complete the other half. All right. So clearly the answer figure should have a squared box here, right? Half of the square. Then you see we need to complete this circle, right? So there will be one circular portion here, right? Again, there is one semicircle to be completed. So that semicircle part comes here. And then on top there is one semicircle. Are you able to follow? Well, don't go by my drawing there. I'm sure you're able to follow how to answer such questions. So very simple. All you need to do is try to go by symmetry and find out what comes in the missing part there, right? So clearly option 1, option 2 and option 4 are ruled out, right? Of course, you can just compare and see that option 3 is the one which matches with what we require here. So the correct answer for this question has to be option 3. All right, so very easy. You need not even draw this, right? I'm just drawing it here so that I can explain it to you. Otherwise, it's all about trying to take these pieces here and check which one fits correctly in the given question. So here's the next one. So question figure has got some sort of triangular figure there, right? Looks like there are 2 triangles. The second one is incomplete, and the answer figures have got the remaining parts of it. And we need to check which of these answer figures will complete the given question figure, right? Now here, it's not about a square box which has been divided into 4 parts, right? You just need to take these pieces given in the question answer figures, right? There's one piece of the figure. So just check and see which of these pieces when kept there in the question figure will complete it, right? Now it's very easy to identify. See, if I have to complete this figure, you see that already we have a triangle here, right? There is a triangle which points upwards. Again, there's another triangle which is like not complete, but it will be pointing downwards. You understand? This is basically like a star. We are trying to make a star out of 2 triangles. So to complete this figure, what we need, let's draw only the remaining part of it so that it's clear to all of you. Okay. All we need to do here is have one straight line like this, which completes this second triangle, which is pointing downwards, and also completes the star. But then at the same time, you see that some portions here are shaded, right? This portion is shaded. The right hand side here has got one shaded portion. So accordingly, the bottom should also be shaded. It looks complete then. Now if you observe this figure, it looks to be complete, right? So we have completely shaded the bottommost triangle. So what is that part which will complete this figure? A straight line like this with a shaded triangle. And that is given in option number 1. So option 1 is the correct answer. All right. Or you can just try to go by options also. If you don't want to draw the figure and check, try to go by options. For example, if you try to put second option, what happens? We'll have a straight line here, right? That straight line comes like this. And then there is a triangle which is shaded outwards. But does it look to be a complete figure? This is not symmetric, right? Hence option 2 is ruled out. Likewise, option 3, if you observe, it is giving you a straight line. So, you may probably draw it this way and then shade this part. But will that complete the figure? No, even this looks to be unsymmetric. And same is the case with option 4. So you can say that option 3, option 4, option 2 are ruled out. Hence option 1 has to be the correct answer. So all these topics from non-verbal reasoning, the approach is same. Either go by elimination method, or try to complete the figure, or find out the mirror image, whatever the case may be, and mark the correct answer. Now here's the next question. Looks to be a little complex, right, when compared to the previous two questions there, but I'm sure you'll be able to answer this easily. So here again we have a figure which has got an incomplete portion, and this is a triangular part, right? Clearly this is a triangular part. You know, this region has to be filled. What comes in this portion, right? The one which I have highlighted with blue, right? The blue question mark. What should come in that place? Now clearly if you observe the shape, there has to be a triangle in this form, right? A triangle which is, you know, we can say pointing towards left. Of course, triangle, you can always say that it is pointing in 3 different directions. But then if you consider this straight line as the base, right, it is pointing towards left. So we need to look for a figure or a triangle which is pointing towards left. You understand this part here, right? It is pointing towards left. So only when this piece, right, the triangle which you can see in blue here, if it is, you know, placed in this section, the section which is shown by question mark, will complete the figure. Now just by that observation, option 1 and option 2 gets eliminated, because option 1, if you observe, it is pointing downwards, which will not fit in that place. Option 2 is pointing upwards, which again will not fit in the missing part there. So option 3 and option 4 both are possible, right? Because both these triangles you observe are pointing towards left. All right. So the first condition is satisfied by only 2 of the options, right? By any chance, if let's say 3 options get eliminated, you need not even worry about what is there inside the triangle, because, you know, just the boundary of the figure makes it clear that the answer is one of them, right? If 3 gets eliminated. However, since we are left with 2 options here, we'll have to check what should come inside the triangle so that this figure gets completed. Now what do? Go by symmetry there, right? Now one point to be observed here is, see, inside this, there is already a square. This is like a square, incomplete square. So if I have to complete it, I should have one straight line like this. So the triangle should have a straight line. Okay. Now both these triangles have option 3 and option 4. Both of them have got a straight line. Chalo. After that, what do we need? If you look at this figure here, we will need one straight line, right? Because this complete straight line, right? So we need a straight line here as well. So there should be a straight line, which is again satisfied by both the options. Yes or no? Option 3, if you observe, there is a straight line. And option 4 also has got a straight line. Now the question that arises is, how do we find out which is correct now? See, if you observe, option 3 has got only one line here, right? Which I'm trying to highlight. And option 4 has got 2 lines, 2 slant lines, like a triangle. Now just understand, if I draw it this way, is the figure complete? Are you able to follow? Which means this part of it. Do you think the figure is complete after this? Anyway, you know that 1 and 2 are eliminated. It should either be option 3 or option 4. But understand, if you kind of complete it, if you try to draw the second line as well, right? See, this straight line that we have drawn now is available in both 3 and 4, right? To that extent, this looks to be okay. But if I complete it, if I go by option 4, what happens? There should be another straight line here. But do you think that makes the diagram symmetric in any way? No, right? Because, you know, what you see in the missing portion is too much, because there is no other part which has got a complete triangle like this. So hence we can say that option 4 cannot be the correct answer. So the correct answer for this question has to be option 3. Are you able to follow? It's just about observing the figure there and trying to complete the missing part. Let's go for the next question. Now this again is simple. The first thing that you can see here is we need to find out anyway what comes in place of question mark. All right. Now it should be a triangle which is pointing upwards. All the options satisfy that, right? Unlike the previous case, here we have all the 4 options which have got triangles pointing upwards. Now how do we complete this? Just try to complete the figure, right? So there should be a straight line like this, another straight line, and in between there should be a vertical line. So what happens? We know that the missing portion is like a triangle which has got 2 straight lines like this, and these 2 straight lines are connected with a vertical line. All right. And what else do we need? That's it. I think remaining portions are anyway complete, right? If you observe these missing triangle also, let me clear what I've drawn here. Right? If you observe, these parts are already given there, so we need not worry about that. You know, that part is already there. Okay, so which option satisfies this one? See, if you observe option 1, it has got only one horizontal line. We are looking for two horizontal lines. So option 1 is eliminated. Option 2 has got two horizontal lines, as you can see here, but the vertical line is missing. So option 2 is eliminated. Option 3 has got both the horizontal lines as well as the vertical line, but the vertical line is not in between the two horizontal lines. So even that gets eliminated. Clearly, you can see that what we have drawn here as the missing part is in option 4. So option 4 has to be the correct answer. Look at the next question. So here again, we need to find out what comes in place of this missing part here. So just try to complete that. See, if you observe, the top part has got this rhombus. If you look at the bottom half, bottom left half, the half of rhombus is available. So clearly in the answer figure, the other half should be available. So one thing is this should be there, right? Whichever is the answer, correct answer, there should definitely be this half rhombus. All right. So if you look at this portion there, we should have a half rhombus. So check from the options, and clearly the two slant lines will be starting from the two corners. If you look at option 1, yes, in option 1 we have that. Option 2, if you observe, there is half of the rhombus, but then you see this line is not meeting the corner. It is supposed to touch this point, right? It is not touching the point there. So hence option 2 gets eliminated. Same is the case with option 3. Option 3 has got half of the rhombus, right? But then you know that these 2 points should be at the two corners, right? There is a gap here. Like in option 2, here we have a gap. So option 3 also gets eliminated. Option 4 again is possible because option 4 has got a half rhombus which is touching both the corners of the rectangle there, right? It should touch both the corners of the rectangle. So in option 1, it is touching both the corners as well as in option 4. So 2 of the options have got eliminated with the first observation. Now we need to check what will complete the remaining part of it. Now just see. In the top half of this figure, question figure, we have got triangles like this, or we can say there is an M, right? Looks like an M. In the bottom half, there is one V. So in the other half also, there should be one more V, so that, we get this two rhombus. Basically, this complete figure has got combination of, rhombuses in both the angles there, right? So the bottom half should also have this half. So we'll have this one. Again, what is the point here? There should be a V which is touching both the corners of the rectangle, right? V, or you call it a half rhombus, right? Because it is in this angle, we can say it is looking like a V. So it should have a V which is touching both the corners of the rectangle. Now look at option 1. We have a V here, but is it touching both the corners? No, it is touching only one of the corners. The other V is at a distance from the corner of the rectangle. Hence option 1 gets eliminated. Option 4 has to be the correct answer. And you can clearly verify that, right? You see, we have a V here. Okay. So the correct answer for this question has to be option 4. And here comes the next question. What do we do? The same process again, just try to complete the figure, right? This looks to be, again, a little complex, but I'm sure you can crack it very easily. Now, going by the boundary of the missing part, all the options satisfy, right? We need to have a right angle triangle. So that right angle triangle is available in all the 4 options. So that condition is satisfied by all 4 of them. Now, try to complete it. See, we already see a rectangular portion here, right? It's like, so clearly the missing part should also have this rectangle. You understand? The missing part should also have that straight line like this. So you can say this has to be there, which again is satisfied by all the options, right? So there's no point in that. Now if you observe, here we have a triangle like thing, right? But it is incomplete. So how do we complete it? We have this straight line. So that straight line has to be there from the corner. It will be touching somewhere here. So check how many options satisfies this. See, if you go by this, option 3 is eliminated because option 3 has got a straight line. So no, we are looking for a slant line. This, this slant line is there, but again it is touching the corner. It should not touch the corner. It should be somewhere in the middle. You understand? We are trying to complete this triangle here. Okay, the V portion of the triangle, right? So going by that, we can say there should be a slant line which is touching somewhere in the middle. But here, if you observe, there is a slant line which is touching the corner of the triangle. So ruled out. Option 1 is ruled out. Same is the case with, option 3 is ruled out. Same is the case with option 2. There is a slant line starting from that corner of the rectangle, right? This corner of this L. But that slant line should not touch the corner of the triangle. Here it is touching the corner. It should be somewhere in between here, right? So that is the reason option 2 also gets eliminated. And option 1. Now if you observe option 1, yes, there is a slant line starting from the corner and it touches this side, right? The base of the triangle. So that part is satisfied. And option 4 also satisfies that part. So clearly 2 of the options have been eliminated. 2 more are possible, right? 1 or 4. Out of 1 and 4, we need to eliminate now. So how do we do that? Just observe what else can help you. Now, if you observe in option 1, there is an additional slant line here, right? Try to go by this. We are just following the process of elimination method. So if you look at this straight line here, right? If you try to draw it here, will it make sense? No. So it is like this. It is touching here. I'll use a different color just to highlight that. Right? Option 1 has got this orange line additionally, right? But is that orange line required? Because the figure has to be symmetric. You understand? So if I try to use this straight line, the orange line which is there in option 1, which is being shown in the question figure as well, it will not complete the figure, right? That is additional there. That is not required. So going by that, we can say that even option 1 gets eliminated. So what is left? Option 4, which has to be the correct answer. So option 4 is the answer. So just observe what is required, what is not required, and based on that, try to eliminate the answer figures. And here's the next one. So what do we do in this case, right? See, clearly the missing part has to have 4 smaller parts there. So let's do that. Okay, it should have 4 portions. So those 4 portions are shown. Okay. Now, if you look at these squares in the center, right? It is like this. The shaded rhombus here has gone to the diagonally opposite side. So this empty rhombus here should come in this position. So we can say this part should have an empty rhombus. First, verify that. So which of the answer figures have got a rhombus in the first box, right? We have divided this empty part into 4 boxes. And we know that in the first box, there should be an empty rhombus. So check how many options satisfy that. Yes, first option satisfies. There is an empty rhombus. Second option also satisfies, right? There is a rhombus. Third option, there is a rectangle. Hence, it gets eliminated. Fourth option, there is a rhombus. So it's possible. So one of the options have got eliminated. Now try to go by the other logic. What else do you observe here? See, here we have a shaded circle, right? A dark circle in the first box, right? There is a dark circle. If you look at the other corner, there is an empty circle. Okay. Likewise, here we have a dark rectangle. If you look at the other corner, there is an empty rectangle, which means on the opposite sides, right, from first box to the fourth box here, we are, taking the empty figure. If it is shaded here completely, we should take the empty portion there. So going by that, here we have an empty triangle. We should do the opposite. We should get a shaded triangle in this box, right? So this box has to have a shaded triangle. Likewise, here we have an empty rectangle. So in this box, there should be a filled rectangle, right, or shaded rectangle. So just check that. So the second box of the missing part should have a filled triangle, and the fourth box should have a filled rectangle. Now check this from the remaining options. So option 1, we have got a circle in the second box, shaded circle. It's eliminated because we want a shaded triangle. Second option satisfies, right? There is a shaded triangle, right? And then in the last box, there is a shaded rectangle. So that condition, both the conditions are satisfied to option 2. Look at option 3. Option 3 anyway eliminated. Look at option 4. Yes, we have got a shaded triangle. But in the next box, what is required? A shaded rectangle. Here we have a shaded circle. So option 4 is eliminated. What is left? Option 2, which is the correct answer. All right. And let us now take the last question from this topic of figure completion. Very, very simple. It looks to be complicated, I'm sure. When you look at the figure, it certainly looks to be a little complex, but one simple logic will help you mark the correct answer. What is that logic? See, we are looking for this portion here, right? What comes in place of question mark. Now, if you observe overall, if you try to imagine the complete figure, it is like this. It has got various semicircles, right? Semicircle on the exterior side of it, right? Semicircle. Then there is a semicircle here. Semicircle, or you can call it, half of a capsule. It is like this, half of some capsule. So going by this exterior boundary, right, the perimeter of this one, what do you see? The missing portion should have a semicircle on this side. Yes or no? So clearly, the missing figure should have a semicircle like this. Now look at that. Option 1 eliminated because here we have a semicircle which is pointing towards northeast. Cannot be the answer. In option 2, we have a semicircle which is pointing towards east. Cannot be the answer because we want a semicircle pointing towards west, right? Option 3, we again have a semicircle which is pointing towards east. Cannot be the answer. What is left? Option 4. And if you observe in option 4, there is a semicircle pointing towards east. That's it. First observation, the most simplest observation helps us mark the answer for this one, which is option 4. So when you throw the first glance at the question, it looks to be complicated. Yes or no? The figure is complex. If you try to complete the figure, then it will become difficult. But like you all know, smart students don't complete the figure. They try to eliminate the wrong answers, right? So instead of finding out the correct answer, try to find out what are the 3 wrong answers. And this process gives you the answer much faster when compared to the traditional method, where we actually complete the figure and see what the correct answer is. See, in some cases it may be required, right? Here we are lucky that just by one observation we are able to mark the answer, but it may not be possible always, right? So in that case, what do? If 2 options satisfy the first observation, then go for some other observation, try to complete it, right? So nothing much to be discussed here. It's all very simple. I'm sure you can solve these questions without any difficulty. So that's it from this topic of figure completion.